Chicago Bears lose to the LA Chargers by a final score of 30-13 on Sunday Night Football. So let's talk about this, people, and recap the game. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about their loss to the LA Chargers. Let me just start by saying this. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. And I'm not going to act like I was shocked. Okay? There are a lot of things to talk about this game in terms of, where the Bears were terrible and what they can improve on. But the final score being what it was is not shocking, to say the least. All right, let's just start there because we just have to be transparent, folks. We are 8 weeks through the season. You've got a pretty decent sample size of what your team is and what your team isn't. And we know what the Chicago Bears are and what they are not. And they are not better than the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers going into this game had the same amount of wins, too, as the Bears, but that does not mean that they were on equal footing. The Chargers have a much better team on paper. They have a much more talented team, and it was evident. All right, it was evident. They've had a pretty tough schedule, the Chargers have. That's why their record is what it is. All right, it's been tougher, more tougher of a schedule than the Bears have had. So let's just get that out of the way because I think that's just going to level set expectations. It's not like the Bears going to this game were 7-point favorites and we just got blown out. All right? This isn't that. With that being said, the fashion and manner in which they lost, it was never really close, right? I mean, 17-7. Maybe you thought there was like a inkling of a chance, but folks, when Justin Herbert can literally drop back and do whatever he wants and throw to whoever he wants and have all the time and set all the Chargers completion records that he wants, you're not going to win the game. You're not going to win the game. 31 for 44, almost 300, had 298, and 3 touchdowns, no picks, no pressure. All night, nothing in his face. Just able to find guys. Austin Eckler here, Keenan Allen there. Eckler went for 94 receiving on 7 catches and a touchdown. Keenan went for 69 yards on 8 catches. Donald Parham went ham on us. Justin Herbert did whatever he wanted to do against his Bears defense because he got no pressure in his face all night long. And anytime that happens, you are not going to win the game, folks, because other quarterbacks are just going to rip you apart. And Justin Herbert's a very good quarterback, and that's exactly what he did. So right off the bat there, the defense goes back to Matt Eberflus. I think, again, at this point, he's a dead man walking because we all know he's not the guy. I don't care we won last week against the Raiders. I'm not being reactionary. That win didn't change my mind on keeping Matt Eberflus. I don't want him here. And I don't care how many more games we win. Matt Eberflus is not the guy for this team moving forward. All right? He cannot be the coach of this team after this season. I'm saying after this season because I know he's not going to get fired during the season. It's just not what the Bears do. I just know it. All right? And with that being said, I thought, hey, maybe Matt Eberflus could, do the one thing that he is supposed to be doing, which is coaching up his defense. But nope. Couldn't tackle all night long. Penalties. Just unprofessional. No details. Get it together, Matt Eberflus. My goodness. Week 8. It's week 8. Switching over to the other side of the football here, the offense. Look, Tyson Bagent, man. Let's talk about the kid. Again, goes back to expectations, right? He's a UDFA, undrafted free agent. By the way, the broadcast was eating it up all night long. I mean, Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico just talking about Bagent this, Bagent that. And I'm happy for the kid. I really am. But look, when you're between those lines, no one cares if you're a UDFA or a 6th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or the number 1 overall pick. All people care about is, can you produce? And Tyson Bagent today finished 25 for 37 for 233 passing yards, 0 touchdowns. Now, 1 was dropped by Velus Jones Jr., which I'll get to in just a second here, and 2 interceptions. 1 interception was a horrid throw, a complete duck where he underthrew it. I think it was intended for DJ Moore. Absolutely awful throw. That's on Tyson Bagent. The second one, receiver kind of stopped running his route and it got picked off there. And Don't really fault Bagent as much for that one. But, folks, it's a results business, right? I know Tyson Bagent was not dealt the best cards here with regards to, the situation at hand. But just think about this. If this was Justin Fields today instead of Tyson Bagent putting up this stat line, we'd have a bunch of people saying, hey, Justin Fields has proven he's not the guy for this team moving forward. So it just goes to show you, again, got to level set expectations, right? But at the end of the day, can you produce? Doesn't matter if you're UDFA or a top 10 overall pick. All right? So with regards to Tyson Bagent, I've told you guys my thoughts on him, right? I think he's a solid backup quarterback material. I think that's what the kid is. And last week against the Raiders, he came in and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Threw for 160 yards, people, right? We're not supposed to be impressed by that in terms of he threw for 304 touchdowns. No, he didn't do that, all right? So it just goes back to that. As far as skill level players, Cole Kmet, 10 catches for 79 yards. A lot of garbage time. DJ Moore, 4 catches, 55 yards. I just feel bad for DJ at this point, man. I think he just wants his guy back, Justin Fields. And then Velus Jones Jr., I mean, my goodness. Look, I'm done with the Velus experiment. Let's just move on. I'm sorry. We know when Chase Claypool wasn't working out, Ryan Poles got bait. Velus Jones Jr. cannot do anything right. I think he had a penalty on a punt return, and the touchdown in the end zone lost his footing, and it still drops right in his lap, and he's still not able to come down with it. He can't catch, right? He can't return. Not really great at anything else. What does he do? I know you invested a 3rd-round pick in him, Ryan Poles, but my goodness, drop it. Drop it. Velus Jones Jr. is an atrocity at this point. He is a liability for this team, not an asset. As far as, moving forward here, folks, look, I hope Justin Fields is ready for next week, because when Justin Fields is ready, and I've said this before, he is the starting quarterback for this team, point blank, period. Tyson Bagent, man, look, he's a nice kid. I wish him the best. He's not starting quarterback level material. And that's not to say I'm giving up on him after 2 games. I'm just saying, based off of the quarterbacks you have on the roster, you can clearly tell who should be the starting quarterback. And I believe it should still be Justin Fields. So, hopefully he's back for next week's game. But yeah, man, Bears dropped to 2-6 on the year. And as we always have heard the saying, you are what your record says you are. And they're 2-6. And easily could have been 3-5, maybe even 4-3. But it's a game of inches, football is, folks. The Bears are just a bad football team at this point. No way around it. So let's see what happens here. But still a lot of time left in the season. Who knows? But right now, Bears, bad football team. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, thanks for watching.